got off the subject. I was talking about my physical ability, my physical traits. My eyesight was perfect. My teeth, my teeth on this one tooth right there, my front tooth. Right there, and one right there. I have a bridge. I have a bridge right there. That's why, because I didn't take care of my teeth. See, see, kids, this is what happens when you don't take care of your teeth. You start losing them, and you get a bridge. And you get toothaches and have pain all the time. So brush those teeth. But anyway, that was my fault. Nothing to do with my genes or nothing. You know, my physical trait genes. Nothing to do with it. Because it was my fault. I didn't brush my teeth good enough, or as I should have. So now I have to do tooth implants, or just pull them all and do dentures. But I'd never do that. Anything goes in this mouth stays in this mouth. So I do tooth implants, because they can put a post in and then put a crown on top of it. That's what they do. And it costs about $1,300 per tooth to do that. Anyway, that's not my genes. That's my fault. And I'm gonna get that replaced, just like I got my hair, which is in my genes. Baldness is in my genes. That's one bad trait. But as far as cardiovascular, you know, breathing and muscular and like that, I'm physical fit. And I can lose about 5 pounds right here, right in the stomach. But see, you can see a little bit of, just, you know, my body style is hourglass. Goes like this. This is V shape. See V? It's a V shape. And actually my whole body is hourglass. See how it's hourglass? I have an hourglass style body, so I'm perfect for female or male. And you don't never know. You can have, you know, with my sperm, we could have a nice president being born, or another Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Donald Trump. You know, you could have another one of those. You know, with my genes. This ain't a gene. This is a skirt, because I'm girly girl. I'm male, but I'm girly girl. And the only reason I don't have makeup, you know, and a nice dress on, is because I want to show you, you know, my physical my physical body. And this was a size 14 skirt, but I take a size 12, so that's why you see this right here. What is that? Let me see. That's why it's like that, because I took it up 3 inches, so this wouldn't fall down. You know, the snaps, see, snaps and unzips. But well, now I'm doing that. So as long as I'm covered up, this is a good video. But that's my. I just want to show my physical ability, and that's what it is. And I was born physically a man, or a boy, because you're not born a man, you grow into a man. I was born physically boy, and all parts are there, all parts work. I can come, I can have kids, and that's why I'm here. And I say, but I'm all girly. Mentally, I'm all girly. I'm all girly girl. I'm all girly girl. I am. And hopefully I'll be transgender with a G, not Z, transgender. But before that, I'm here to help you out, and we'll help each other out. We'll just have sex together, that'll be fine. You don't like shaking hands? Okay, see you later. You know, have sex, shaking hands, see you later. You know, have sex, shaking hands, see you later. Or kissing lips, you know, whatever. And but I'm here for a boyfriend, not a girlfriend. Not a girlfriend. I'm just, you know, but if it happens as a girlfriend, that's fine. that'd be okay with me. As long as they know that I want a man, a boyfriend, to have anal sex with. Because I can do the toys myself. I don't need another person for toys. But I just want to show that I'm physically fit and I'm able to have kids, and why you would want me as your sperm donor and or injector, or having sex, you know, for an hour or so. So what? And then I go on my way once you're pregnant. Bye. Simple as that. You know, lovey-dovey, and, you know, getting it in, you know, because it's all part of sex. It's all part of sex. And then after that hour or so, then see you later. And once you get pregnant, see you later for good. See you later for real. But, or could go into a relationship. You don't know. We don't know. That's part of a relationship. You never know. You know. And I'd be perfectly happy being married to a female and being able to still have a male. I mean, that you know, as a boyfriend, as long as that's understood before we exchange vows and become married. You know, as long as it's understood. And your side is the same way. You can have a girlfriend, or you can have a boyfriend. You can even have a boyfriend. I don't care. It's back to you know, sharing your toys. No, these are my toys. You can't play with my toys. Well, it's the same thing with men and women. You know, oh, this is my wife. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't have sex with her. You can't kiss on her. You can't hug her and kiss her and have sex. That's my toy. That's my girl. That's my wife. That's my wife. I'm not like that. I'm not possessive like that. That's very possessive. That's so possessive is stupid. Like Donald Trump says, you know, people in government are stupid. And they don't know what they're doing. You know, I love Donald Trump, man. He's cool. He knows exactly what to say, man. They're stupid. They don't know what they're doing. He's like saying these guys are all clowns. Here's the real person, Donald Trump, the big D, Donald Trump. Here's the real person right here, Donald Trump. I'm the God. And all these other people are clowns and stupid and don't know what they're doing. I like those two phrases. They're stupid. You know, government people are stupid. They don't know what they're doing. I like those two phrases. He puts it like it is. And when he talks about the border, about illegal aliens, you know, Mexico people, rapists, and, you know, the different bad criminals, they're criminal once they cross that border. They're criminal by definition, not by Donald Trump, but by definition. So he hasn't said nothing wrong there. Those Univision and NBC, them guys are goofy in the head. They're all goofy in the head. First off, the United States is very racist, very racist. Last election was racist. It was all about skin color, Obama. So John McCain gets a woman in there as his vice president, you know, try to pull this off because he's trying to overcome the racism of the United States of Obama's skin color. But Obama had the richest woman in the world, Oprah Winfrey as a sponsor. So he had it all set to win. Because he had you know, the richest woman in the world, Oprah Winfrey, plus all his other sponsors. How couldn't he win? He's got the right skin color because we're racist. The United States is racist, and that's the way Obama got in there. What has Obama done for us? Obamacare? That's going to be abolished on any of the candidates, any of the 20 candidates that are running right now. Obamacare is going to be abolished. It's going to be taken off the books. It's not going to go through, and that's going to be no way in hell is that going to work. So, what has Obama done other than skin color? And he made a tennis court into a basketball court. You know, what has Obama done? What has Obama done? What has he done in the last 8 years or 7 years, 6.5 years? Because he run, his last day in presidency is January the 20th, 2017. That's his last day in presidency. And according to Constitution, our 22nd, you know, like Chuck Woolery, we'll be back in 2 and 2. Our 22nd Constitution states that no president shall run more than 2 terms when elected by the people. When a president is elected by the people by vote 2 times, the president can no longer run again ever. That's in the Constitution. That's another one of those Constitution things that, like Ronald Reagan says. Ronald Reagan said, "Why can't the people vote him in for 2, 3, 4, 5 terms? Why can't they? Let the people decide." That's what Ronald Reagan says, and I agree with Ronald Reagan. He's right. If the people decide, Democrat for 20 years, 5 terms, then that should be okay. The people decided it. Ronald Reagan's right on that point. But and that should be taken out of the Constitution too, along with to be president of the United States, you have to be born here. That's another stupid ass rule, and it makes no sense at all because, let's see, the reason it's in there, like I said, we want to keep the British out. The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. We were all against the British, so that's why we put that in the Constitution, so that a Britisher could not run or become president of the United States. And that might have been good at the time, but now, 200 years later, more than 200 years later, we still have it in the Constitution. It's outdated, and really, it wasn't even a good thing anyway, because we vote for the president. So if we saw a Britisher running and we voted him in, then that's our own stupid ass mistake. And back to Donald Trump again. People are stupid and they don't know what they're doing. I like those two phrases. The government is stupid and they don't know what they're doing. And that was 2 coin phrases, man. I never really thought about them until Donald Trump was the Big D, Donald Trump. He's worth $12 billion. Vote for him. Vote for Big D and vote for Donald Trump. But that's all I have to say. This isn't a video for a wife, a relationship with a woman other than sexual. I'm not looking for a woman. I'm looking for a man. I'm looking for a boyfriend, because I'm a transgender, from male to female, or I think I might. I don't know. I ain't decided totally yet on that. But I'm definitely gonna be a CD for the rest of my life. Cross-dressing from male to female and wear a nice dress and perfume and makeup and the hair and the high heels and walking hand in hand with my man. That ain't gonna change. That's not gonna change. So if you're a woman and you agree with me, hey, I don't find it any problem marrying a woman at all, as long as they understand who I am and what I do. I'm not gonna do any drugs. I'm not gonna drink. I've never done drugs. I've never drank yet. I've never done marijuana. I've never done any kind of drug. I'm physically fit. I was born on 6/19/1958, so I'm 57 years old. I'm physical fit. I do 3 sets of 80 push-ups today, every day. And I drink a lot of milk. I can drink up to a gallon. Sometimes I even drink more than a gallon of milk. Chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. That's just quick. In chocolate and white milk. Right now I'm in a powder. I use powder milk, where you get powder and you mix it. And then I just put a cup of Nestle's Quick in it, and that's what I'm doing, because you can keep powder milk a lot longer. Matter of fact, most people think doomsday is coming, and they're going to need that powder milk. They're going to need the water, and they say water and powder milk, and because of doomsday, those people have been around since day one. But powder milk is the way you can do it. And because it lasts for like a year and a half or 2 years, and so you'll be there having food where everybody else is starving if doomsday does come, But I'm here to donate my sperm so you can become pregnant, and I'll be very happy to do so, free of charge. If you're a distance away from me, like if you want me to come to Russia or China or Japan or Mexico, or I'm not racist. Don't matter what race you are. I don't care. I'm white. I'm solid white, from head to toe. Solid white American, United States American man, and perfect physical fitness shape since kid. And I was born with movie star teeth. They call them movie star teeth. See, it's missing because I didn't take care of my teeth. That's the reason, and not by my genes. But when I was a kid, I had movie perfectly straight teeth when I was a kid. I never had to have braces, not even thought of. I was born with movie star teeth. So, well, that's the end of my video, and this is my last video segment. And today is 7/25/2015 at 11:47 a.m. I almost said p.m., but it's before noon Eastern Standard Time here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The schools I went to were I went to Edison on Ray Street in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Went to Edison I went kindergarten. Yeah, I got help back in kindergarten. So kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth on Ray Street at Edison School. And then I went from Edison to Millwood Junior High. Millwood Junior High School, which is also in Kalamazoo, Michigan, over off Miller Road. I forget what the name of the street that is, but it's off Miller Road, within about a mile from my house, less than a mile. Millwood Junior High. I went from 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay, graduated from there. I graduated from grammar school or grade school, and then I graduated from junior high, or Millwood Junior High. After 7th, 8th, and 9th, I went there. Well, I was like the top of the line ping pong player. Hardly anybody could beat me. I was the top of the line ping pong player. Very fast, very knowledgeable ping pong. Well, anyway, I graduated from there. I went to Lower Norix. That's on Kilgore in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's on Kilgore. I went from 10th, 11th, 12th there. Graduated in 1977. Graduated from Lower Norix High School in 1977. So that's my schooling. I went to Kalamazoo Valley for 2.5 years too. Because my dad died, I got Social Security as long as I went to school. That's the only reason why I did that. Because I hated school. But anyway, after I graduated high school at Lower Norix, I went to Kalamazoo Valley Community College, which also it was on O Avenue. This is also in Kalamazoo, Michigan, or Ostermo, I think, Ostermo. Went there for 2.5 years. And I was just a factory rat after that. So done deal. Done with this video. I'm done with all my videos. And I hope you like it. I hope you call me. I hope we get together. And I hope I help gay people out and have at least a half-blood baby, or kid, and or single people who don't want a relationship, or whatever female you are, black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, don't matter to me. Hope to see you. I'll donate my sperm right directly to you in your vagina, and we'll have a great time, and that'll be that. And I'll walk away unless something develops. So, same time, same channel. Same bad time, same bad channel. See that? Today is 7:25 at 12:27 p.m. It's this afternoon on Saturday. And I knew I wasn't going to add another video to this, but here's my bracelets. I think my bracelets. But and my necklace. My bracelets, necklace, and my little skirt. Little skirt. My little skirt. And my little ball right there to my necklace. And I wasn't gonna add to this video, but yeah, what the hell? I add to it again. Like I said, I'm here as a sperm donator, and for a gay couple of women, or a gay woman, or a woman that don't want a partner and wants a kid, or two gay women that want kids. I can get both of you pregnant, or one of you pregnant, and if the other one say, oh, okay, I'd like to be pregnant, and get you both pregnant, whatever. And it don't matter what country, Russia, Japan, China, Mexico, United States, any state in the Union, Hawaii and Alaska, Austria. It don't really matter what country, except I won't go to North Korea. I won't go to North Korea because there's a bunch of buttheads there, nuclear stupid asses. But and like Donald Trump says, they're stupid and they don't know what they're doing. I like that phrase. I like Donald Trump's phrases. They're stupid and they don't know what they're doing. It's like everybody else is a clown. Everybody else is a clown, and Donald Trump is, you know, the genius, which he is. He is a genius. And you don't get get up to $12 billion and not be a genius. I mean, wow. But so vote for the big D. Vote for Donald Trump for 2016 presidency. He'll make the best president. But and hopefully Donald Trump will realize that the American dream. Arnold Schwarzenegger would be the best vice president. Hell yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Donald Trump. Hell yeah, that'd be the best ticket ever have been, ever will be. The big D, Donald Trump and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But as vice president. But yeah, I was going to talk about my work history and my schooling. Okay, my schooling, I went to Edison, down on, I think it's on Ray Street, across the street from the Catholic Church School, or church, Catholic Church and Church School, Edison. I went from kindergarten. Yeah, I went through it twice. I flunked. They called it held back, but I was pissed. I got held back in kindergarten. So kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, I went to Edison. And then after I graduated Edison, and by the way, when I was in Edison, and one time in gym class, we were climbing ropes, and I was like the 15th kid in the class, going to climb the rope, you know, in gym class, and you go like 30 or 40 feet up, and touch the I-beam and come back down. But everybody was struggling, you know, they were going with their feet, you know, and then their hands and their feet, and their hands and feet, and some of them could only go halfway, and slid down, you know, rope burn. Not a rope burn, but you know, you could get a rope burn like that. They slid down because they got tired, and you know, boys and girls, and some of them only could go halfway. Some of them made it all the way to the top, come back down, you know. But they always used their legs. They always used their legs and their hands, you know, hand over hand, and their legs. And I'm going, man, I'm gonna hit that rope, and I'm gonna go up it, hand over hand, come back down, hand over hand, no using legs at all. And so I was like the 15th or 16th kid. I hit that rope, went hand over hand, touched the beam, went hand over hand, back down, and my gym teacher goes, or everybody's surrounding the rope, you know, in a circle, right? And my gym teacher would call, you know, who to go next, and so we did, and we were all in a circle though. And so once I went up, touched the I-beam, went down, stood like this, everybody's going, yay, 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 wow. They were all loud, including the teacher. The teacher was loud. And teacher comes up to me and says, yeah, that's the fastest on record out of 15 grade schools around this area, like 15 grade schools. That's the fastest ever. On climbing rope and back down, up and down, you know, 30 or 40 feet, whatever that is. And yeah, that's the fastest ever. And everybody's going, yay, in my class, you know. And I did that, so well, I wouldn't be a spectacle, but that was the most spectacle moment in my life. And then, then later on, when it became time for someone to go represent our school, our grade school, when I was like in 5th or 6th grade. I think it must have been 6th grade, because I was going. That was the first time and the only time that I ever represented our school. I was picked. I was Class A, and I was picked to go to another school to compete in different competitions. And my two competitions were running long jump and 50-yard dash. And it was a photo finish on a 50-yard dash. It was photo finish. They said they were going to do it over, but I guess my foot was like here, and the other kid's foot was there like that, so I guess he won. And I didn't even get my 2nd place ribbon. I never got my 2nd place ribbon anyway. So, but anyway, I took 1st place in running long jump, you know, where you run down the dirt and jump into the sand. They measure the heel, wherever your heel hits in the sand. I jumped 11 feet, 11 feet, or not 11 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, 11 inches, almost 11 feet. So I run down the dirt, jump from the dirt into the sand, and it was 10 feet, 11 inches. And I took first place by unanimous. I mean, there was no one close to me. But I think the reason was because me and my friend used to live next, back of me, and I lived at 1319 Poplar Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan 49001 from the time of my birth, because my uncle owned his own business as of like 1940, 1939. 1940, he formulated his own construction, professional building of houses from the ground up. You know, digging the dirt out and building the basement and the house on top. And he formulated his own business in 1939, I think it was, or 40. But he asked my dad, you know, because my family lived in a two-bedroom, brick house. And it was a two-bedroom, and there was 2 boys and a girl, and plus my mother and dad, you know, so that was too small. And my uncle knew that, so he says, hey, you know, he says, ask my dad, would you like us to tear that one down and build you a new one? Hell yeah! Back then, that was in 1958 when they built that house, because they were building because they're having another person, me, you know, the last child, the 4th child, because it was girl, boy, and boy, or physically a boy. But mentally, I think I was a girl. But so he built the house. He tore the other one down, built the house, and I lived there from my birth until 2014. Last year, 2014, about my birthday. At the end, well, at the end of June, I had to leave because, you see, what I did is I built rooms inside. I made the living room to a bedroom. I made a living room into a bedroom. I made a kitchen into a bedroom. I made a kitchen nook. And in 1999, I built a garage and breezeway to it. And all this without permits. The only permit I ever had from the city, was the pad, the cement pad, to build the garage on. That's the only permit I had. No electrical, no building, no none of this, you know. And I did electrical in the garage. I did electrical in the breezeway. I did electrical when I built the room out of the living room, and I did electrical when I built the bedroom out of the kitchen, and I did electrical in the kitchen. I even moved the 220 line in the kitchen, but I did electrical and building and everything, you know, and then I had the nuts, to run it out. See, and then I got a person who got drunk all the time, and sometimes he even stayed drunk, and he reported it to the city. And so once the property is reported, it has to be city inspected for a rental unit or a rental house. And at that point, on April 10th, 2014, the house was condemned. And once the house was condemned, everybody has to leave. But when I asked the city inspectors, because there was 2 of them, actually there was 3 total inspectors, they said I could stay there as long as I'm fixing up the place, but not at night, because they don't want anybody sleeping in a condemned house at night. So, okay, I did that, but then I had the police come over and say I had to leave, so I left, and I didn't have any vehicle at the time, and I bought one on June 19th, my birthday. My birthday is 6/19/1958, so yeah, I'm 57 right now. And then me and my dogs lived out of that until August 1st, which I gave my dogs to the kennel, which a no-kill kennel, and then I went down to Mission, lived down to Mission for 2 months, a little over 2 months, from, let's see, August, September, and I got this apartment in October, and okay, that's that. And then okay, my school history my school history is elementary school, kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. That was my elementary school, Edison on Ray Street. And then when I graduated from there, I went to Millwood Junior High to 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's junior high. And that was over off of Miller Road, Kalamazoo, Michigan, within a mile of my house. Then I went to, after I graduated junior high, I went to Laura Norix. Laura Norix is on Kilgore in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's on Kilgore Road. And I went there from 10th, 11th, and 12th. And then I graduated there in 1977. And I was also a janitor there while I was going to school there for my 11th and 12th grade. Half of my 11th and the rest of my 12th grade year I was a janitor as co-op, so I got credits for that. So I graduated with a bunch of extra credits. But then I went to, I delivered furniture, and I impressed the owners, you know, because of my strength, my physical ability. I impressed the owners, you know, they're saying, wow, man, this guy can really deliver. And I didn't want to know the roads well enough, so I got let go there because I didn't want, you know, I don't like to know the roads like that. But anyway, then I decided to go back to school because I'd get paid because my dad died in 1976, April 3rd, 1976. So I got his Social Security as long as a full-time student until I was 22. So I went to Kalamazoo Valley. I took up welding and a bunch of other classes, mostly physical fitness classes like tennis, bowling, golf, and the other volleyball, modern dance, a bunch of other physical fitness, an actual physical fitness class. And then I got out of college because I was 22 and I didn't get paid for it anymore, so I was done there. Then I went to Ealing Brothers, and I was a shipper. I started in as shipper and receiver. I worked for Wise Personnel for 2 years. I worked for that temporary service for 2 years. That's stupid. And like Donald Trump, that's stupid. And I didn't know what I was doing, like Donald Trump says. But I worked for Wise Personnel for 2 years at Ealing Brothers on Fulford and I think it was Elcott, Fulford, right across the street from Beach Products on Fulford. But you know, I always had the reindeer and stuff at the top, on the top of the building. It was a 2-story building, 2 or 3 story, it's at least 2-story. But I mean, there were big stories, like I think 10 feet each story. But worked there for 2 years. Then I got a job at Total Plastics. Total Plastics, I worked from. Actually, I worked at Ealing Brothers from 1980, because I remember the tornado. We were all looking, 1980 tornado downtown 1980 tornado. I remember us all looking out the window and saying, God damn, that sky is the blackest we ever saw. Must be something going on down over there. We continued working, and the tornado hit downtown on May the 13th, Tuesday, May the 13th, 1980. Downtown Kalamazoo tornado. Look it up on YouTube. Just put that down on YouTube. You can see the tornado and what it did, and the aftermath of what it did. And when it was in the sky, and then it came down, this guy was outside with a movie camera. Back then, you know, 1980, no one had, you know, iPhones or nothing. It was a, you know, movie camera. But he just happened to have a movie camera, and then he saw it right there in the sky and looked at it. Oh, there it is, and it was coming towards him, right? And he had a couple other people out there with him because they worked there at that place. They worked there, and oh, we better get downstairs. It's coming towards us. Shit, they got halfway down the stairs. The lights went out. The tornado hit, and you gotta watch this. It's on YouTube. Just type 1980 Kalamazoo, Michigan tornado, and yeah, it was captured on tape. And yeah, that was a major event in Kalamazoo, that tornado. And okay, then I went from, let's see, 1980, 81, 82. After 82, in 83, I got a job at Total Plastics. They were over on Wynn Road, and I was shipping and receiving there, and drove forklift, and I drove a little bit of forklift at Ealing Brothers, but that's a real small place, but I still drove forklift, and then in Kelman, Total Plastics, I was shipping and receiving, drove forklift and material handler, and shipping and receiving, and this and that, and I worked there from, they moved once, and then they moved again to the north side, and that's when I got them to fire me, because I got sick of making $10 an hour. So when it became mandatory overtime on the Saturday, I just didn't show, and the boss says, "Where were you?" I said, "I wasn't here, was I?" I was getting cocky, with him, and I was hoping they'd fire me, because I want to get out of there so I could look for a different job, better paying job. So so then after that, the next following weekend, they said Saturday was mandatory overtime. I didn't show, and then I came back on Monday and we didn't call, didn't show both Saturdays, and then they said, "Yeah, you got, you're gone." So that way I could get unemployment when I look, and I have all the time in the world to look for a new job. And I did get a new job, and that one started out at what was it, $8.50, I think, $8.50, and then it would go up to like $13 after a couple months, and so I had a better job, but I was still looking for a job. And I found one at Intercal here in Kalamazoo, off right at the end of Cork Street. You go across Sprinkle Road on Cork Street, and I started out at $13 an hour, and I ended at 2005. September 1st, 2005 was my last day there, and that was a union shop, but they didn't call me back the next following year, so I had to quit the union, so I couldn't be called back. Otherwise, with me being a union, I'd have to be called back. But I quit to get my 401k out so I could pay the bills I was behind, because they didn't call me back the following year, so that was the end of that. And then I had a broken resume from then on. But I got to stop this video and start a new one. Anyway, after Intercal, I was material handler. I started out as material handler. We loaded entire bleacher systems, which they're like 25 to 30 foot sections, like that big around, and they go like 25 to 30 seconds. There's the underlayment, the steel and stuff, and we lifted those with forklift, and that was, God, that's hectic work, because you got all that length sticking out both ways, and it's real heavy. You're talking 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, and once that tips, man, it's down. But and we stored it 25 feet up on racks, and lower, like 3 feet to like 25 feet. Man, I didn't like doing that. That's like teeter-totter work. I hated that. But then we loaded them by putting the 25 to 30 foot lengths, bundled steel is what it was, bundled steel, and it was the underlayment of entire bleacher systems, the bleachers that are in all gyms in public schools that roll up to the wall, and you pull out for seater spectate. It's seating for spectators. Seating for spectators is what it is. And they're either steel, wood, or plastic seats. But anyway, they all roll out. They can go up to like 30, 40 feet high and roll out. They roll out from the wall so the people can sit, for seating, for spectator seating on all sporting events, even outside. They do outside ones too, and they do them all over the world. And that was the last place I worked at, Intercal, and my last day there was September the 1st, 2005. That's September the 1st, 2005, and I was a material handler, and also a checker. I was the person responsible for checking off all the stuff that goes on that truck for that complete bleacher system on like a 40 to 50 footer. They're like over 8 foot like this, 8 foot like this by 8 foot like this. The opening in the back of the truck on a semi truck, tractor trailer, and then they go like, they go from like 30. I think they go down to 30 feet long to 50 feet long, and we had to make sure we had certain, no more than a certain amount of pounds per feet. So we had to make sure that, and we had to make sure everything was on there. And a couple times I didn't have everything on there, just like everybody else. But everybody ever loaded a truck always left them damn horses off there. One time or another. But I did it once, and that's a lot. That's like a half a truck load sometimes. The horses, the things that roll in and out, that are steel, they're like an L-shaped thing with things sticking out of it for seating. All different lengths, from the smallest length to the highest length. So you got like 10 small ones like this, you know, and 10 bundles of them, and like that, and for that, and the next size, you know, 10 like that, and then 10 bundles of them, and next size, next size, next size, next size. Go seat, like that, you know, just like stairs. Go seat, though. They're called spectator seating, and that paid, you know, I started out $13 an hour, and then after like 6 months, I think it was, I was in the union. I was called Little Herc. I was called Little Herc, Little Hercules, because of what I could do on the dock, you know, where you load the trucks. They call it, some people call me Popeye arms, because my arms are thick right there, the Popeye arms, and I was called Little Herc. Some people call me Little Herc because I was little, you know, 5'4", and I was very strong though. And one time, you know, this bundle weighs, you know, 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, but they slide easy because they're made out of steel. They're very slippery, very slippery. That's why I didn't like to put them on a forklift and have, you know, 20 feet sticking out either side, you know, plus you're 4 feet here, so you got, you know, 15 feet sticking out either side, and they're very slippery. The more weight you have, the more slippery they are too. And so one time, you know, they wanted to take this bundle from here, from this on top of this bundle, and put it down there. I said, "Look out! Look out! Look out!" I took it like this, and I just slid it over, and bam! You know, it's right there. They said, "Wow, we didn't know that. We didn't know that." And they've been doing it for 20 years. It's funny. Like I said, it's very slippery. The steel is very slippery. And all it needs is a little force. It didn't even strain me. I mean, I just, bam. I said, "Look out!" So I didn't, you know, put 2,000 or 3,000 pounds on him. So I said, "Look out!" I say, bam, you know, right where they wanted it. They said, "Oh, cool! I didn't know I could do that. I mean, I don't know you could do that." And then with this OS board, you know, it's called wafer board, and you know, it's 4x8 sheets of wafer board, and it's three quarters of an inch or an inch thick. It's fairly heavy, but it's not that heavy. I took one up like this and did like this. I carry it like a pizza. Carry it like a pizza like that to wherever I want to go. That's the best way to carry it. Everybody else, no one else did that. Everybody else was sliding, you know, struggle with it and drag it and struggle with it, you know. I'm going, where do you want it? Or where do I want it? You know, put it right there, because we built bulkheads, you know, so to separate, you know, our stuff to other people's stuff when they, you know, pick up other people's stuff, or to end the load. It's called a bulkhead, made out of 2x4s and that OS board, like 3/4 to an inch. I forget what it was. It's fairly heavy though. But I can carry it like a pizza, and I always did. That's the easiest way to carry it, if you can get it up that high, which most people wasn't able to, and they never did. So, I don't know, that's the best way to carry it, I thought. But they call me Little Herc, because of my physical ability. But I didn't mind working on a dock. It's the people you work with, that's what I mind. But some of the people sometimes they get a bug up their ass, and they're impossible to work with. Once they got that bug up their ass. Not that I caused it, but sometimes I do. But anyway, I worked there from 2000 to 2005 to September 1, 2005. I worked at Intercal under the union. And what was great about them is once I was in the union, all my medical, dental, and optical were paid by the company, and we had no premiums. The only thing we did is paid a portion of you know, wherever we had done, like our medical and like our optical, which I never had that, and our dental. I mean dental. That's what I had. I never had no medical or optical. So I'm physical fit. I said I don't have nothing wrong with me. Come on. Okay. So I had dental though, but that was my fault. I didn't take care of my teeth. See, now kids, you gotta brush your teeth. Kids, listen to me. You have to brush your teeth, otherwise this happens. Because these are here to last you the rest of your whole life. Your second set of teeth are here to last your whole life. Your whole life, okay? Your whole life. Not until you're, 20 years old. Not until you're 50. Not until you're 100. But your whole life when you croak. When you croak, okay? So brush your teeth, kids. Brush your teeth. They're the only set you're going to get. Otherwise, you're going to have to do like I'm going to do, is have tooth implants. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. We'll have tooth implants. And the tooth implants cost $1,300 each. I have to drive to Grand Rapids to have that done. But they last the rest of your life, though. They're made out of titanium, the one that goes right in the goon. They put it right in the goon, and then they put a cap on, just a regular tooth. Fake tooth, but they last you the rest of your life. And you don't have to brush those. But I don't suggest not brushing your teeth, though, because, your breath and all that, stinky-ass breath. And brush your teeth no matter what. If you wear dentures, brush your teeth. If you do tooth implants that don't come out, that's the only way I'd do it. $1,300 a tooth, brush your teeth. But, okay, so that was in account. And, like I said, they pay all your medical, dental, and optical. And you just pay a portion of the bill each time you have to use it. But you don't have no premium. So I made $17 an hour. I was making $17 an hour in year 2005. Hell, I had so much money, it wasn't funny. Shit. $17 an hour? Jeez, that's a lot of money, Jack. And, because I was used to making $10 an hour. But, 17, man, there's a big difference between $10 and $17 an hour. Big difference. Plus, you don't have to pay any optical, dental, or health, medical, optical, or dental. You don't have to pay any of that except for a portion each time you use it. And plus, I know I got $17 an hour. Plus, I was getting $6,000 check a year for profit sharing. So that's another $6,000 on top of that. Plus, I only worked one full year when I was there. And I think that was the second year I worked there. Because the first year I volunteered to take a vacation, or I volunteered to be laid off. Because that's what they ask first. They go around and ask everybody, would you like to get laid off? And I said, okay. And you get full benefit. I made more on unemployment, and making at that time I was only making about $14 an hour. I made more on unemployment than I could ever think of making when I worked at Total Plastics. When I worked at Total Plastics, I was making $10 an hour. And on unemployment alone, making $14 an hour, I made more sitting on my ass doing absolutely nothing, except for playing video games and watching, videos and, movies and stuff like that. I did absolutely nothing all winter long for 6 months. That's what I call a job. And then I worked for 6 months. And that's basically what I did. I worked for 6 months, off for 6 months. And that's why I did the hair transplant twice. Because I had the time to recover for the hair transplant. So, and I did that the first year I was there, which was in 2000 and 2002. But 2005, after 2005, they didn't call me after that. And my unemployment lasted for like a year and a half, something like that, a year and a half. So it wasn't until 2007 that I had to really look for a job, because then I didn't have any income in. So from 2007 till 2014, or 15, now it's 15, I have a very broken up resume. No one wants to see it. No one wants to see my resume, even though it's a good resume. I mean, I was material handler for 20 years. I drove forklift for 20 years. And when I was at Total Plastics, I ran a CNC router for 10 years. And before that, I was material handler, forklift driver, and plus I was forklift driver when I was a CNC router operator. And I was top of the line production, mass production person. You know, set up in mass production. I was the top of the line, put out the most, you know, from anybody. And there was people younger than me, you know. But and that's what really pissed me off when they kept me at 10, and they got people on the street that worked in other factories. Okay, they got no experience, so what? But what about me? I got perfect attendance here. I've never missed a day yet in 17 fucking years. And they don't look at that and say, oh yeah, we got him. He's $10 an hour, and he's gonna stay at $10 an hour. He's gonna retire at $10 an hour. Huh? Fuck you. That's what I thought. So when it became mandatory to come into work for mandatory, I just didn't show, didn't call. First time, and the boss says, where were you? I says, I wasn't here, was I? And then the next week, mandatory overtime. That's my talking thermometer. And then came mandatory overtime for the second time, the second week. I said, you know, because I knew they were going to go downtown. They're going to be on the north side, which you know is all, you know, it's all black, and I didn't want to go down there. So second time I was no show, no call again. And this time they called me and said, oh, you're done. I said, okay, see you later. See you later, Charlie. Now I can find me a job and I get paid unemployment. And that was fine. And I did get a job. I got a job at Bentler at first for a couple months. And if I would have stayed there 6 months, I would have been making $13 an hour. So I would have been making $3 more an hour than I could have ever possibly made at Total Plastics. They're cheap ass people you don't want to work for. And they got chump ass, you know, benefit program and no profit sharing, or very little, if any. Where Intercal, you know, after I got into Bentler, which I was a robot welder. I was a robot welder at Bentler. I mean, I put parts on, and the table rotates around and flips. It flips apart and rotates around and gets welded by different robot welders in the back. So I wasn't right directly with, you know, a welder. It's you call it being a robot welder. And so I did that for like 2 months. That's the first job I ever felt something physically right in my arms, because you got to keep putting the lower control arms for cars. You got to keep putting those on there and take them off and put them in a stamper, take them out of the stamper, and then put them on a rack where they cool down. And then they dip the whole rack in paint. That's how they dip paint them. And we had a dip painter at Intercal too. It's like 5 or 6, probably 10 feet deep, because they had 10-foot parts. You know, the lower thing that rolls on and out under the entire bleacher systems. They hang on a conveyor. And you go into the dip and out of the dip, and there's some fans along the ceiling. And so I had to be at least, you know, 10 feet deep of all paint. So they call it dipping, because it dips in, comes out, and dries by the ceiling. I gotta shut this off again, I think. That's called the paint dipper, because you hang the parts. Person who's painting, you hang the parts, and then they go into the dipper. And then when they come back around, they're dry. And now you gotta stack them. You gotta stack them right. And then you're classified as being a painter. So a painter, the welders and the painters made the most. They're at that time in 2005, they were making $20 an hour. They were making $20 an hour, 20. And I was almost like the lowest paid as a material handler. You know, drive forklift and hand load semi trucks, 40 and 50 footers that are like over 8 foot by over 8 foot wide, and you know, standard semi trucks, or containers. Yeah, I was making $17 an hour myself, and I was like almost the lowest paid person there. The janitor was the only person that was lower, and we only had one of those. We only had one janitor, and he was making, see, I was making 17, he was making 15 something an hour. You know, like $16, you know, about $1 within $1 of me. I was making 17, and he also got, you know, profit sharing. Everybody got profit sharing. You know, $6,000 a year. That's plus what they got. One year I almost made $50,000. I made $49,000. That was a year that I worked a full year. That was the only year, one and only year I worked full year. All the other years I worked 6 months. I was off 6 months until 2005. And then after I got laid off in 2005, September 1st, 2005, I never got called back for that following year. So, you know, I was also looking for a job. You know, not really, but I had a job here and there. And the temporary services, they'll screw you over. They'll tell you, they'll lie to you. Like I had one say, "Oh yeah, this is a forklift driving position." It was an inventory position. So I go out there. Oh, it's inventory. Or no, I called them. I think I called them. And they said, "No, this is an inventory position." I'm going, okay, I ain't going into this then, because I don't want an inventory position, and I'm getting unemployment anyway. You know, I see, what was I making? $720. I was making $720 every 2 weeks. $720 every 2 weeks. So that's what, $360 every week. And how much was I making at Total Plastics at $10 an hour? Not that. Not, you know, busting my ass every day. Shit, I was sitting back. Oh yeah, what video game will I play today? What video game will I play, and what movie will I watch today? Maybe I'll just go riding in my car. Riding in my car. Riding in my car. Because I was hurting by no means my money. I almost made I was just under $50,000 that one year, and that was the only year I ever worked the full year. All the other years I worked 6 months, and I was off for 6 months. You know, what movie will I watch? What video games will I play today? What record will I beat on this video game? You know, I was retired, man. A few of them people say, yeah, I'm retired. Shit, I'm semi-retired because they work 6 months and they're off 6 months. A lot of them will volunteer. You know, volunteer to be laid off when it comes before September, because their busiest time of the year is in the summer. It's in the summer from about May to September, because they do school gymnasium seating that pull out from the wall and push up the wall when they want it for like a basketball court, you know, for just regular gym class. Now, if they want to have a bunch of seaters, you know, people watching, you know, like events, like sporting events, you know, the schools have, then, you know, they pull them out for spectator seating. But before that, it's all rolled up to the wall, you know, and it comes out, you know, a couple feet away from the wall, and that's it. And then so they have all this floor space. But when they're getting, you know, like paid events, you know, paid seating events, you know, paid sporting events, then they want all the seats they can get. So that's what we did at Intercal. But then from after Intercal, after September 1st of 2005, I worked here and there, and no benefits, lousy pay, goofy people you work around. I was done working at that point. I was retired at 50. But it wasn't until 2007 that I actually got a job. And then, because I took 2005, September 1, 2005 is when I got laid off, and I had a year and a half. I had a year and a half of unemployment at $720 every two weeks, or 360. What is it? 720. Yeah. So that'd be what? 360 dollars. I think it was $362 every week. $362 in unemployment benefits every 2 weeks. That was great. That was the best job I ever had. Worked 6 months, off 6 months. We had some overtime, but not that much. But yeah, it was great. I mean, it was the best. That was the best pay, best job I ever had. But they're goofy. There's a couple goofy people there too. This one guy goes, you know, because he like hurts like in his arm or his leg or something. He says, "Wait till you get my age. You won't be able to do all that stuff you're doing on the dock today. You won't be able to do all that stuff." Turns out I'm older than he is. A lot of people think I'm 20 years younger than what I am. I'm 57. They think I'm 35. So they think I'm like 20 years younger. The only thing that gives me the age is the baldness of the hair. That's the only thing that gives me the age. This one guy I worked right directly with on the dock, he says, "Man, you look great for your age." And he says, "Geez, when do you start wrinkling? When you're 80? When you're 80 years old? Is that when you start wrinkling?" Yeah. I'm going, I don't know, I'm just me. I'm me, who I am. I'm me. I'm physical fit. Hey, I don't know. But, yeah, that one guy, he thought he was older than I was, a lot older than I was. And it turned out I was older than him by 2 or 3 years, a couple of years. He says, "Wait till you get my age. You won't be able to do all that stuff." And he wasn't overweight that much. He was only over maybe a little bit, but he had the biggest mouth there. And he so what was his name? What was his name? I forget his name. I think it was Don something. I think he would grad. I don't know. I ain't gonna say, but that guy was stupid. He didn't know what he was doing. No, he knew what he was doing. He had a secure job there. He's probably still working there. Because those people get a doctor's pay for a bum's knowledge, a bum's knowledge, and get a doctor's pay. That's what people at Intercal get. They get very good pay because they got that union. And see, the company has to go through that union. The company can't just do it because they tried to lower assembly. The assembly, they wanted like 3 or 4 people, 3 or 4 or 5 people only making $11, $12 an hour, $13 an hour, where everybody else is making like 17 to 20, and they wanted to lower that, but the union wouldn't let them. And like they say, I want a day's pay for a day's work. That's what their thing is. I want a day's pay for a day's work. And everybody didn't want to see that $13 an hour shit. We all started out at, and we were making at that time $17 and $20 an hour, plus full benefits and a $6,000 profit sharing. Well, Intercal was a great place. They still are. I hear they're doing, they're taking home $10,000 profit sharing now. So, but I don't know. They don't want me because I didn't get along with that one guy, that one Don Goof dude. And I told him what I thought of him, And when you start telling people who've been there, 20 years, their asshole does stink, When you tell them their asshole does stink, they don't like that. And when they've been there 20 years, and they start complaining, that's why I ain't gonna get a job back there. I already sent a resume there, but I didn't expect to get back there because, I told them their asshole does stink. Because it does. They take a shit like I do. They stink. But I was a very hard worker, and they liked me as far as that goes. But as far as getting along with other people, sometimes that's kind of difficult. And then I was going to see what else I was going to do. Okay, that's my job history, and then I have some other jobs, and they're not worth mentioning. They're flunky jobs. One job was injection molding at production plated plastics, I think, or something stupid like that. Over on Ravine, the one over on Ravine Road. I'm going, I'm taking out a steel rod put it in the steel rod, right? Put in the steel rod, open the door, put in the steel rod, then it injects molding plastic around that steel rod, or 4 or 5 steel rods, whatever it is. Open the door and take those out, put new ones in. Well, sometimes get confused. You do it so much that you don't remember if you put the steel rod in there or not after you close the door. And I did that a couple times. And then they have to break this machine all apart and clean it up, and then it takes an hour or so to do that. And then another time, you put the steel rods in a like a mold. It's like a flat table with mold, and then it injects mold or injects plastic around it. And then you take, when the plastic has been injected around, you take those out and put them in an area. And if what happens if you rotate the machine without taking the parts out, then it crashes. I mean, because it's got the parts in there already, and it tries to. So that was the last time. That was, I was done there, but I already had another job somewhere else. So, and then another time. I think this was before this. This time I'm talking about is I worked at Pfizer for a contractor, not for Pfizer, but for a contractor at Pfizer. It was a flunky job. You painted and you cleaned and painted, and it was filthy because we cleaned above the boilers, the things that made stuff hot, and those were heated by coal. So you had this coal dust all over the fucking places. It was like that thick on the beams above you, and on the walls, and we had to clean all that shit out, vacuum it, clean it out. It's fucking filthy. You're about to work in a mine. You're about to work in a coal mine. But we wore masks, to protect our lungs, but it was filthy. And not only that, a lot of times the positions would be high, we had to wear body harnesses, and you'd be 30 feet off the ground. I didn't like that either. And I never really got in a real dangerous position because I kind of watched, how to get around it. But and then we insulated pipes. We put insulation around it, and then put plastic around that, so the insulation ain't all hanging out. So you put the plastic around that and glue it. And I was working there for a contractor, and then I worked for, and then they told us, every so often they'd be telling, oh, we don't have no work today, or if it was raining out, we don't have no work today. So then then since they told me I didn't have no work today, I called up another temporary service. They said, oh yeah, we got a job here for second shift. And so I started working at Landscape Forms. I was a powder coater. It's like painting, except for you're using powder, and the parts are on a conveyor, and come by, you paint it with the powder, because it comes out of a canister that we clean, and then put the color, whatever color we're doing, and we paint, or we powder coat. And they liked my job there. They liked that. Then I got laid off from there. But I was working the 2 jobs. I was working one at Pfizer over on what was that, Kilgore, and then I went to Comstock to Landscape Forms to powder coat. So I was working 19 hours a day, 8.5 including lunch at Pfizer. Then the travel time from Pfizer to my house, then from my house to Landscape Forms, that's about an hour there. And then back, to sleep for a few minutes. Most sleep I got was like 2 hours, I think, 2 or 3 hours. So I was working 19 hours a day, every day, and including Saturday. And well, Pfizer I wasn't working on Saturday, but at Landscape Form I was. And sometimes I think we worked half day, but it was 10 hours. It was 10 hours, 10 and a half hours at Landscape Forms, and 8.5 hours at, so 10 and a half, yeah, 19 hours, including lunch. So I was working 19 hours. I had travel time because that was out in Portage. The Pfizer was, and then Landscape Forum was in Comstock. So that's like an hour. That's an hour there. Drive, travel time. So I had 19 hours plus travel time. So I could only get, 3 to 4 hours sleep, or 2 to 3 hours sleep, I think it was. I better stop this again. See, what I want to show is the size of my right foot and the size of my left foot, and see the size, different sizes. That's about a 9, and that's about an 8. My right foot's about an 8 and probably a quarter. My 9 foot, my left foot is about a 9, a little over 9 inches. Where my right foot is a bit over 8 inches. See my right foot and my left foot is a little over 9 inches, and my right foot is could be about 8 inches, 8.5 inches. My right foot, but my left foot is over 9 inches. So that's what I wanted to show. See, that's the only odd thing. That's really the only odd thing I have is my foot size. My right foot is a 6.5. That's a 6.5. My right foot. My left foot is at 8.5 to 9 because of the arch. See the arch? Very low arch. See a very low arch on my left foot. Very high arch. Very high arch. Very high arch. See? Very high arch on my right foot. And that's why my feet are different sizes, because the arch is different. I'm almost flat-footed on my left side, and my right side is so high arched. That's why they're two different foot sizes. That's why my right foot is about a 6.5, and my left foot is about an 8.5 to 9. And that's what I wanted to show is my foot size. It's not bad though. It's not that bad. I didn't have any problem. Matter of fact, I was a real fast runner. My feet's always been, two different sizes. And I was a real fast runner. And like I said before in my video, I was also picked in grammar school to go for. I went for the 50-yard dash, and it was a photo finish between me and another kid, and I was picked for the running long jump, and this is back when I was in either 5th or 6th grade. I think it's 6th grade because I think they picked at the last grade of the grammar school when you were leaving, and so I think it was 6th grade, but it might have been 5th grade, I don't know. But anyway, they picked me for the run long jump and they picked me for the 50-yard dash. It was a photo finish for the 50-yard dash, and I never got my second place, and I never got my second place ribbon, but I did get my first place ribbon for the running long jump. I jumped 10 feet, 11 inches, almost 11 feet. And my other trait for my family history tree is the males are short. The males are shorter. I'm 5'4" and 150 pounds. So I'm 5'4" and 150 pounds. I'm male, but when I'm dressed female, I'm a petite size dress. I'm a petite size 12 dress. Um, when I wear a blouse, I'm a 12, I'm a 14. I'm a 14 blouse because I got really broad shoulders from doing push-ups and working out and stuff, and so I got really broad shoulders. So I'm a 14 in a blouse size. But that's the odd traits of my family, and my family tree is the shortness of us, and my immediate family has, the right ear problem, with like a hole in the eardrum, and then if you get water in it, water makes it so it gets infected. So the drier you keep the ear, the better. You don't want to put water in it; it'll get it infected. And that's what my mom did. She was taught always to use a syringe and water to rinse a infected ear out, and that just made it worse. Kept making it worse until finally, like I'd be just sitting, like in class or something, my ear would start dripping pus, dripping water out, and then one time it started bleeding when it was dripping. It was dripping water plus blood. So then I went to the doctor, and he referred me to an ear specialist, and that's Dr. Rosler here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. My ear specialist is Dr. Rosler, and he's over by Three Ponds. He's off of he's near I think he's off Crosstown Parkway. It's in the white building with a bunch of offices in it, and so he's off Crosstown Parkway here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. His name is Dr. Rosler. He's an ears, eyes, nose, and throat doctor. He's an ears, eyes, nose, and throat specialist. And but he's here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and he's treated me since I was a little kid, every so often. It's not and I think he's the one that did the mastoid surgery, which that's where you go in and do a skin graft over the hole in the ear, but it was too big. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do a skin graft that far. So what they did is rearranged the bones in my right ear, and so I have a loss of 75% in my right ear of hearing and 25% in my left ear. So hearing is a little problem, and it's not a big deal, and it hardly ever gets infected. The older you get, the less infected it gets as often. When you're younger, it gets infected a lot more, because we were stupid, and my mom put water in my ear with a syringe deep in my ear. That's the worst thing you can do. That's like the worst thing you can do with anybody with a hole in their eardrum. You want to keep water out. And matter of fact, my ear specialist said, silly putty is the best stuff to seal the ear off when you take a shower or when you swim. But if you use it, a few times, it gets like gum. It changes it from silly putty, where it bounces off the floor. You can use it. You can roll it in a ball and bounce it off the floor. It's changed from a hard substance like that to a gummy substance, and then it's you gotta pull it out of your ear, like pulling gum out of your ear. So I would suggest, if you use silly putty, change it often. When it starts to get sticky, then change it. Or just use the ear protection that you use at work. The earplugs, it's made out of plastic or foam, and stick that in your ear. That'd probably be the best. Anytime you take a shower, or if you swim, or just to keep the water out of your ear. And it's not a big deal anyway. It's not really that big a deal. Other than I'm used to, as you can tell. I don't know if you can tell why I'm talking or not, but like with the Hawk on TV, with Bill Bixby and the show The Hawk, he's almost totally deaf. You can hear him when he talks. He's, you can hear when he talks that, yeah, he's got a big ear problem. But anyway, that's what I want to show. And today is 7/26/2015. I don't know what time it is. It's in the morning, like 7 o'clock a.m.